Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time checking out my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. And if you like what you hear, please feel free to like and subscribe below. All my information is in the description below. With that being said, all right, let's get right into this. All right, so this video, breaking free from the chains of guilt and shame. This is something that I hold dear to my heart for a lot of reasons. I got my tissues here in case I started to have some tears come down, because this is really a heartfelt message and testimony. I wrote a book called The Devil's Bedroom. It will be out for you, for the world soon. It's not published, but it's complete. I'm right now working on the cover and editing and all those things. However, that book is based loosely off of my life testimony. One thing that I had to do in order to finish that book is release the strongholds of guilt and shame from the things and the traumas that I went through in my life. Okay, so this video is to help you all, those of you who is still allowing negative experiences, negative traumas to hold you back from stepping into your greatness. Let it go. Let it go. However, I know from a personal standpoint, it's not always easy to let it go. So I'm sharing with you some tools that I use to release and break free from the chains of guilt and shame, and to heal myself, to start the healing process. Healing is something that just doesn't happen in a twinkling of an eye, an overnight success story. Healing is a process. Life is a journey. We have to appreciate the journey and go through it. Be patient with ourselves and what we're going through. It can take one moment, true enough. We can have something that happens to us in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to an hour, traumatize us, that creates a lifetime of trauma, true enough. However, God is a miracle worker. There is nothing impossible when you are dealing with the divinity of source energy that is giving us the air within our bodies, okay? So as long as you're open to receiving the healing and you willing to do the work to break free from those chains of guilt and shame, you will be healed. I am a living testimony that those strongholds, those boundaries, those memories, those traumas, that abuse does not have to stay with you and haunt you for the rest of your life. Okay? So, with that being said, it will be a part 2 to this video, because I won't be able to get all of this into one video for the sake of time. So, however, let's start with the first tool to start to break free from the chains of guilt and shame. Okay? Now, in my book, The Devil's Bedroom, the main character, Money Green, she goes back. She finds herself. I'm not going to give you the whole story because you got to get the book. It's a good one because it will be a movie. However, in that book, she reflects back. Most of the traumas and chains we are dealing with, the shackles that are holding us back, happened in childhood. If that is you and you're dealing with a childhood trauma, like this character, like me, I was dealing with a childhood trauma from the age of 4. It made me feel guilty. I don't call it sexual abuse. I don't call it molestation. It was rape. Okay? However, it made me feel that it was my fault. I felt guilt. I was shameful. I did not talk about it. I kept it a secret for several years until I got old enough and strong enough to speak my truth. Speaking that truth causes more pain from the reactions of our loved ones. If you can relate, tap like on this video, okay? However, the first key to being free from the chains of guilt and shame is speaking your truth. You have to face that demon. You have to face that devil. You have to face these chains that are keeping you bound from speaking your truth. So the first thing you do is you confess. It doesn't have to be to someone else. It can be to yourself and to your higher power. You can journal. You can write. I use journaling. That's why I'm a writer now, because I found the pen as a powerful tool to get it out of my spirit, get it out of my being, and into the physical form, okay? Let's take a deep breath here. Healing is not easy, but it's simple and can be done, okay? The second thing you must do in order to break free from the chains of guilt and shame is forgive yourself and forgive the imposter, the predator, the pedophile, the abuser, the narcissist, whatever it was, the parents, the mate, the friend, whomever it was that caused you pain, to make you feel shameful and guilty and fearful. Whoever that was, even if it was yourself, forgive. Forgiveness is just as powerful as love. When you learn to forgive, you break those chains of guilt and shame. If you don't know how to forgive, there's many books, there's many tools, you have to do another one, which I'm going to get to, which is meditation. However, reach out to me and I'll assist you with that. Forgiveness is powerful. It's just as much as loving yourself as it is when you're forgiving that predator, that accuser, that murderer, that rapist. When you're not forgiving them for them, you're forgiving them for you. Because why do you need to forgive them? You need to forgive them because anger, hate, unforgiveness is denser energies and vibrations. And as long as you hold those energies within your spirit, within your being, then you are imprisoned to that act or what they did to you. You're a prisoner now of that. You can no longer be free because you're having flashbacks. You're traumatized. You might have been in an abusive marriage or an abusive relationship, and then God sends you your perfect mate, but you're not ready for your mate because you're still traumatized and you haven't dealt with the hurt from your abusive relationship. So now you have post-traumatic stress syndrome, and you're bringing all of that negative energy, all of that hurt and all of that pain into your new relationship, and you running that person away. Another thing is, will you really attract a healthy, viable mate or partner or spouse if you're still wounded? The law of the attraction, one of the laws of the universe, is you attract who and what you are. The vibration you give off is what you're going to receive. So you've probably been through 5 to 10 relationships, but you're dating the same person in each relationship because you haven't forgiven yourself and the abuser from the worst relationship you was in. So until you face that trauma, you face that hurt, you face that abuse and the abuser, you will never truly be happy and find the joy in the relationships, the fulfilling relationships that you desire. It doesn't matter how much you pray or how much you cry or how much you ask God to send you the perfect mate. Until you are the perfect mate, until you heal from the guilt and shame, it can never manifest into your life, because that's antithetical to the law of the universe. So we got to work on ourselves first and get ourselves whole, healthy, full of love and healing before that will happen. Okay? So let me give you one more tool, and then we'll pick up the rest of the tools. I have a total of 9. So I just gave you how to break free from the chains of guilt and shame. The first one is release, talk about it, expose it, put it on the table, lay it out. Let's talk about it and heal. Okay? You have to face it in order for it to be released, in order for it to heal. So that's the first thing. And one thing that can help you, if it's not someone else, if it's yourself, or you can't talk to the person who abused you or hurt you, put it on paper, journal about it, talk to God about it. You got to release it. You got to get it from the inside to the outside so you can send it away, release it, cut the ties. Okay? So the second one we went over was what? After you talk about it, you release it, you journal it, now you have to forgive. And the first person you have to forgive is yourself. Then you're going to have to forgive the person who hurt you. Okay? We talked about how forgiveness is powerful, because until you are able to forgive, you'll always be bound by the chains of guilt and shame, because you're going to be shaming that person. You're going to be making that person try to feel guilty, which is in tune a reflection of what's within you. Okay? I'm going to say this. There's 2 sides to a coin, but it's still one coin. So sometimes what the devil tries to do, and the devil is negative energy, dark energy, dense energy, tries to do for your harm, what we do as light beings is we take it and transform it, and source energy, divinity, will take that negative traumatic experience and turn it around for our good. Prime example is myself. The things that I went through, the traumas I suffered, the abuse I suffered, self-inflicted and otherwise, I turned those around once I conquered them, and turned them into tools of forgiveness and love and healing of myself and others, to help reach out and help someone else. So what I once thought was good what I once thought was the worst thing that could ever happen to me, propelled me into realizing what my calling and my divine purpose is in this life. It is to help others. Okay? So the third and final thing that I'm going to talk about in this video is, if you don't know where to start your healing process, pray and seek guidance. So that's actually 2 more. The first one is pray and seek guidance is the second one. So that's 4. But you want to seek the right guidance. You have to be and surround yourself by wise counsel. So with that being said, if you need to seek out therapy, you need to seek out a psychologist. I'm big on holistic healing. If it's just getting clarity, if you want to contact an intuitive like myself, I'm a clairvoyant, reach out to me. My information is in the description box below, and we'll get you started in the right direction. However, take the first steps to break free from the chains of guilt and shame so that you can live the life that you deserve. I wish you the best. I send love, peace, and an abundance and healing to you. We are all energetic, spiritual beings in this physical dimension on a human journey. All right? So stay positive. Know that this too shall pass. And God bless.